I'm so sorry to literally
Sorry.
hijack that. I just like we just needed all of that information, and that was so beautiful.
It's all good. I'm gonna just come in with a lot of energy, and what's gonna be really funny, most of my interviews are this chaotic. So like they won't know what we've been talking about, and I'll just start with like, hey, it's your pal Anton at Comic-Con.com, your daily comic book convention.
Is this thing on?
Hey, it's your pal Anton at Comic-Con.com, your daily comic book convention. I am here with some amazingly talented people to talk about my favorite streaming service, Dropout TV. It's where I go to watch just about everything in the world. I am with Kimia Behpoornia. I can't pronounce your
You
name.
got it. Behpoornia. You're
Is it
nailing it.
Behpoornia? Oh my
Yeah.
God, that's amazing. That's awesome.
No
Do it.
tricks.
There's no tricks in the last hit. Truly,
Vic
if you sound it out,
Michaelis.
it's there.
I'm a very phonetic person. I had a problem with spelling when I was a little kid, so it's all dysgraphia in my brain. But yeah, you guys are on this new season of Dimension 20, Gladlands, which is fantastic. And Dimension 20 has such a strong sort of identity each season, right? So when you guys heard about the pitch for the season, what the story was going to kind of be, what kind of hooked you? What made you go like, I want to be at that table?
My biggest, okay, I'll go first. I'll give a small, simple answer to start. What really hooked me was I heard who was going to be there, and it was all my friends, and I went, okay, amazing. And then number two, it was like, oh, we're trying this thing where it's not a combat heavy world. It's more a community driven. We have to talk about our problems. All of the big battles are inside yourself sort of world. And I went, oh, it's about a lot of heart and talking through big feelings. Absolutely. I can do that better than I can swing a broadsword. Wow, I look at that.
You nailed
Look at you
that. That was
go.
You did
perfect.
it? Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I mean, like I had a very similar, like getting to the table was a very similar experience, where I said no, and then all my friends were there. I texted Kimmy to confirm that she was in fact going to be there, and then I said yes. And I think I felt very similarly to you, where I was really excited about the idea because like even the caravan came about as we were doing character creation and as we were talking about the types of characters that we wanted to play. Brennan was like, oh, it kind of sounds like all of you guys want to be helpers, want to like figure out how to help. And so like that literally is how that mechanism came about. And
yeah.
I like the idea as sort of the arc for the season that it really is about like who helps the helpers type thing. And so like it's a lot about like, we're seeing these characters at this point in time, not because it's their first day helping people, but rather because it's like a turning point in their lives, figuring out like, wrestling with big things within themselves, and also like going, okay, like if this is going to sustain, if this is going to last, if we're going to continue trying to help people, we have to figure out how to help each other.
I love it. And like messaging wise, I mean, we're living in some real interesting times right now.
Sure.
And that help really comes across to the table. Like there's been some moments that have kind of blown me away. I think as of the time we're recording this, there's like 3 episodes up right now. And there's some things that are happening at the table that are, I mean, there's the normal hijinks, but then there's some stuff that's like there's a ton of heart in it. I think Hughie at one point says something to the effect of, they're like a psychopomp. There's this life thing that happens, and it's sort of like you can't what is it? There's no wrong way to do something like living. And I mean, I had to stop the episode. Like I literally like it caught me in my chest because I was like, that message needs to be heard by everybody right now. Like you can only do what you can do, and I think that speaks to the power of you all as players and what you're able to kind of push across in this space. Now, where did Hughie come from? They're kind of like a plague doctor meets tuxedo mask meets like funeral director. Just where did this entity kind of seed out of?
I just wanted to play somebody that I like the initial seed of like the type of character and the way that the character was going to interact with other characters was somebody that is there because they are important and the only person that does that job. And they kind of like really badly want that kind of like connection with other people, but don't really know how to access that. They can super easily tap in and access it when people are in grief and in crisis. But then in the everyday where it's just about like making friends and hanging out and like, building like living relationships, all of a sudden it's just like they don't really have the time and the access, and they're there because they're needed. And like I think from Hoogie's perspective at least, they wouldn't be on the caravan in the same capacity that some other people would be on the caravan, because they're like a fun hang and people like them being around. Sort of like, I think like Poppy is somebody that like, everybody like loves, and like everybody has a connection to Poppy. Everybody has a connection to Kokomo. And so I think like that's just like a longing in Hookie, but they also, understand the weight of their position and how important it is to the Gladlands as a whole.
I love it. All the characters at the table feel like they fit in such a really fun and specific role. Kimmy, you're playing. Your introduction is one of my favorites across actual play, especially because they do a slow pan, and you're like, "Oh, this is gonna be like a himbo. I'm here for this. Like, I can't wait." And then you have this cockroach head and this
Yeah.
skateboard straight out of like a Game Boy, like an old
Oh
school
yeah.
original Game Boy video game. And I mean, it's fantastic. Where did Test Tube come from? Like, what a cool character.
He's cool. I wasn't cool, so I like to try to be fake cool in improv and stuff like this. So anytime I can pretend to be cool, I will choose that. And then hopefully I can create this persona where people think I might be cool. It's a lie, or is it? I also
The
was
name
It's very
also is
cool, is what it
brilliant.
is.
the name. Yeah,
The
thanks.
name is brilliant.
Brilliant in a stupid way, which is the my favorite type of thing. But I also was thinking about mostly about the setting, and it was just kind of like the simplest idea. The Occam's razor answer is like, oh, cockroaches are allegedly, I don't know if this is true, but the lore is that they survive anything.
Right. Yeah.
And then to think emotionally about like what is a type of character that has survived maybe everyone in its original community dying, not finding anyone else that is like him. And then it's almost like I hadn't seen Mickey 17 at the time, but it's very that idea of like, oh, you're just kind of the disposable guy that's sent out to do the dangerous thing and come back, which then felt parallel to kind of a himbo. Nobody really thinks about them, right? They're just like, they're hot, they're on Love Island, whatever. Do they have actual feelings? And so I sort of wanted to play that marriage of those two types of ideas.
I love it. I'm genuinely, I love the character. And there's like, as a disabled person who thinks drag is fantastic, the name, I immediately added it to my little notebook of names and was like, one day, if I can find clothes that are cut for me, I'm stealing this.
Yeah,
Because, holy hell, how cool is it? I mean, genius.
thank you.
Uh,
Something that also literally just occurred to me is that, like, of course, from an evolutionary standpoint, test tubes has evolved to be that hot, because if you're gonna miss something in your brain, you have to be that hot. That way people want to reproduce with you.
I thought that
You
was
know what I mean? That's how
intentional.
you continue. It's genius.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, everything's intentional.
Everything's intentional.
A
It's
genius.
genius.
Is so playing in front of an audience, right, is a vastly different experience than playing with friends. And Dimension 20 is kind of that place that I go to watch people play in what I consider the most friendliest way in an actual play space, right? Those tables feel so like lived in. How often are you guys together when you film like a full run? Is it like 3 or 4 episodes a day? Do you just do a long weekend to get it all, or is it like once a week? How's that look production wise?
We shot it over the course of a week, didn't we?
I think so. It was like 2 episodes a day. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was like 5 days, which was nice because then we had some like lead time. And I don't know about you, but I was like, it did take the first day, those first two episodes to go like, oh, okay, I get what we're doing now and I get how we're doing it. Because,
Totally.
Kids on Bikes is a much easier system to hold on to, especially from a performer perspective than like, a lot of those D&D proper ways of playing, but still it is like there are mechanics to it where I was like, I don't really understand the boo-boos, and like but then like all of a sudden after the first one, and after you see, especially, we were so lucky to have Allie and Zach at the table, who are like
Yes.
so seasoned and like, are so comfortable at the table that like, really like between them and Brennan, it was like very easy to grab on really quickly. But like, I think that shooting schedule is nice, and I also got really lucky because I literally had gotten back from Hungary the day before our session zero. We immediately shot this, and then the day we ended, we had our first day of tech for VIP. They were building the VIP stage like as we were doing all this. So it was like it could not have been a better and warmer warm up to like go into VIP, which is like for me, it's like, not that it's, Brendan is doing like a lot more world building and has like, I'm not hand building the costumes, but it could not have been a warmer way to walk into that.
I love it. And we're short on time. I would talk to you guys for hours.
Sorry.
Everybody can check this out. It's amazing. The first three episodes are up right now on Dropout TV. Dimension 20 is it's my favorite actual play. It is what it is. Thank you both so much for your time. I really appreciate it. And hopefully we'll talk again soon.
Oh,
Yeah, please.
please, Anton, this was awesome.
Oh, cool.